I could get you all to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm now going to turn this over to our MC for the night, Commissioner Brian Hurd.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So I'm so excited to be here on today to host this town hall meeting on today, where you Lynwood residents get to see what's going on in your own town, in your own village. It's nothing like being aware and know what's going on in the place from which you live. And we have such a team, an administrative team of Lynwood, the village of Lynwood. They're a team of integrity, they're a team of honor, and somebody that we can see. Every village, they can't hold their head up when you mention their name, but the village of Lynwood, you can, because we have some of the most honorable, intelligent, smart, innovative people here in the village. So let's give our team a hand. Okay, if you all don't mind, if everybody can please silence your phones. Please, everybody, please. I know everybody's busy and everybody has a life outside here, but this is very, very important. And the information that we're going to share tonight is going to be very important. So we want to make sure everybody is they're alert and aware of what's going on, so that we don't want any distractions. So before we get started, I want to introduce some people to you on today. We have our Police and Fire Commissioner, Miss Marilyn Mason. Let's give it up for Miss Marilyn Mason. We have our Police and Fire Commissioner, my friend, my brother, Mr. Charlie Johnson, Commissioner Johnson. We have who's over our zoning board, Mr. Fred Miller. And do we have any other members of the zoning board here? Any other members of the zoning board? Okay, so I'm about to introduce to you the entire team, the entire administrative team for the heads of departments for the village of Lynwood. And I'm not going to introduce them anymore after that, because they're going to come up in the order that I introduced them, okay? So, first out the gate, we got my friend, my brother, the Chief of Police, Chief Greg Thomas. We got the Chief of our Fire Department, Chief LaShawn Austin. Our Public Works Department is headed by Mr. Dan Lieber. Our Office Manager, Ms. Crystal Johnson. Our Finance Department is headed by our own Kimberly Switterick. Let's give it up. And the lady that's over our Building Department, and the lead singer for the village of Lynwood, Ms. Joyce Jackson Hurley. Let's give it up for her. Our engineer, Robinson Engineer, Ms. Brittany McPherson. Now we have our illustrious Board of Trustees. So we got Trustee Eves, Trustee Lily, my friend, my brother. I kind of don't like him, because every time we go somewhere, he try to outdress me. And I think he does this on purpose. But come on, stand up next to me. See who got the best gray suit on today. Who made it look better today? I'm gonna take y'all home. My friend, my brother, Mr. Randall Brakely, everybody. We got Trustee Clark. And then my brother, Mr. Kurt Marshall, Trustee Marshall. And then we also have, last but not least, Trustee Dunlap. And the best village clerk. The best village clerk in the whole wide world. Miss Karen Wingfield Bond. Now, the one who makes this all happen, who holds everybody accountable, who holds this village together. A woman of honor, a woman of integrity. Every room she walks in, she represents us, Lynwood. So everybody stand to your feet. Please, 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 let's give it up for our mayor, Ms. Jada Curry, everybody. Let's give it up. So again, I'm your host, I'm your moderator tonight, Commissioner Brian Hurd. You'll see me throughout the night. And first out the chute, we got our Chief of Police, Chief Greg Thompson. Let's give it up one more time for the Chief.
Thank you, Commissioner, to the Honorable Mayor, our village clerk, and to you, the residents. Thank you for coming out tonight to hear from our department heads and our department leaders, our elected officials. Before we start, I just want to introduce the command staff that makes the police department work. Ms. Dion Dyson, who's our record supervisor. Commander Weinbrecht, who's our administrative commander. And our newest appointed commander, Commander Dustin Warren, our patrol commander. So since we last met last year, there's been a few things that has changed. Last year, you probably remember Commander Hernandez, who retired on this year, and as we just announced, Commander Dustin Warren replaced him. We also have a new addition to our family in the form of a K9 Knox, who's been handled by Officer Kimbrough, who's in the back of the room, Officer Kimbrough. And these next set of announcements, I just want to put an emphasis behind this. All these things have started and was implemented under the leadership of Mayor Curry. So since Mayor Curry took office, our record division is now staffed 24/7. We recently implemented the DECA program, which has allowed us to expedite and streamline our tickets in our local court system. This is some very, very important statistics that I love to acknowledge again Mayor Curry and her support of the Lynwood Police Department. Since he took over, we have increased our staffing of sworn police personnel by 36%. Our violent crime index has been reduced by 22.5%, and our property crime index has been reduced by 18%. And our traffic enforcement has been increased by 44.6%, which means you see more police officers, we're enforcing more issues, we're preventing more crime, and as a result of that, Lynwood is a safer place to live. Thank you, Mayor Curry, for your support. On my way over here, I looked up some statistics of 50 surrounding cities to the village of Lynwood and compared to Illinois crime rate, the violent crime index. And per these statistics, Lynwood is rated in the top 12% of places to live in the state of Illinois. So you are safe, and I want to contribute that to the men and women before me, and certainly to the men and women who are serving the village of Lynwood now. Thank you for your service, and you are certainly appreciated. God bless you. Well, behind me will be our awesome Fire Chief, Sean Austin.
Thank you, Chief Thomas. Good evening, everyone. So I am your fire chief. Oh, thanks. So what's happened since last year is fire department is completely staffed. Last year, I think we had 14 members in the fire department. As of today, we have 40 part-time certified. Let me say that again. 40 part-time certified firefighter EMTs, as well as, the mayor always loves this, our first ambulance service that's been up and running since May of this year, staffed 24/7, 365 for the village of Lynwood. And I can say it now because I'm a Lynwood resident as well. My firehouse, our firehouse, the village firehouse is fully staffed, and we are going day by day answering calls from cats in the trees to people unconscious, not breathing. And the village has accepted it very well. And our members that work here are here to protect and serve our residents and give our residents the best. Other things that we have implemented since last year is our public education. So our Be Safe smoke detector program. So if you live in a house and you have a smoke detector and it's within the last 5 years, we can update the smoke detectors and give you the new 10-year smoke detector. You can call the firehouse 708-758-6102 and then leave your name and number, and our deputy chief will come out and they'll bring you the smoke detector, and they'll also install the smoke detector at free of charge. Other things we've done, like I said, we've added EMS. Let's say we went from 15 members to 40 members today. Future plans for the fire departments to keep going. Our next big hurdle will be to make our BLS, which is our basic life support ambulance, our ALS, upgrade the ambulance to our ALS ambulance to provide a higher level of service for our residents. So the difference between BLS is ALS can intubate, they can give you medications, they can start IVs, and it's more advanced, so we have more technology. And at that point, we'll hire some paramedics and put on the ambulance, and we will be able to fully support the needs of the village here at the fire department. And that's all I got for you guys. Our next up is Public Works, Mr. Dan.
Thank you, Chief. Good evening, everyone. I am the superintendent of Public Works, actually. I'm standing in for Sam Garcia, who is our director, who's down at a conference right now. So I'll be filling in for him today, as you can see up there. And then we did add a new member to our team, Francesca, I apologize. She is our admin at the Public Works, so when you call our shop, you will get her. She gets the notes to us, and we get out to you guys. So that is her service for us, and that is awesome because it helps us out. We can be on the street longer. Oh, that's not the flag. Okay. All right. It's all right. I got it. So what we've been doing for the Public Works Department this year so far, beautification. And what does that entail? All our park signs around town with all the planters, the village hall, the median strips. We planted flowers, we pull weeds, we water, we trim trees. We try to keep up with that weekly basis. Weeds obviously grow like weeds, so give us time, we'll get out there, we'll make everything pretty again. And you've probably seen our chipper truck out now, out trimming trees. What we're doing is we're making safe passage for emergency vehicles, snow plows, and the sidewalks. We're not necessarily landscaping your trees, but we're also not trying to butcher them. We're just trying to make safe passage on the street side and on the sidewalk side. Also what we do, we excavate. What is excavating? Water service repairs, main breaks, sewer repairs. We try to let you know if we were going to dig in your yard. Emergencies, obviously a different story. We'll be out there, we fix everything, we get it back to working order. And yes, there is a mess in your yard. It will be there for a couple months. You got to let the ground settle before we get back in there. We put black dirt and we seed it, because if we do it too soon, we'll be back out there to do it again. You'll have a big dip in your yard. So give us some time to get back if we do happen to dig in your front yard. And then the best part of this is snow plowing. Why not push the snow back out the street? Because it doesn't work. It's just going to make a nice speed bump in front of your house. Push it to the parkways. We have to push it back towards your driveways. I have parents in town, I push snow in their driveway. It is what it is. It makes safe passage for emergency vehicles, your vehicles. I know it's a pain in the butt, but try to push it to the parkways instead of out on the street. And with your mailboxes, it's not our plows that hit mailboxes. We have to go a certain speed, roughly 10 miles an hour, to push snow off the street fully. The snow is what hits your mailboxes. So before snow starts falling, make sure your mailboxes are nice and secure. They're pushed back off the curb line. Just secure them up, because it's not the plow, it's the snow. Wet snow is heavy, we all know this, we all shovel it. When it comes off a truck, it's gonna hit the mailbox. Just make sure they're nice and secure, and we will be good to go. And that is all I have. Miss Crystal Johnson is up next.
You're welcome. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Again, my name is Crystal Johnson. I am the office manager with the Village of Lynwood. I would like to introduce you to one of our newest members. She's our administrative assistant for the water department, and her name is LaShawna Harrington. LaShawna, can you stand up so they can see you? So you are calling the water department, you will either get, we call it Shani. You either get Shani or myself if I'm working that day. And so I too am a Lynwood resident. I've been here, my husband and I built our home here 30 years ago. So do know that Lynwood residents do work in that office. And I love when you all call here and say, I've been here 20 years. And you begin to tell me about how things used to be. So I come right back at you and I say, well, I've been here 30 years. Okay, so there is some history in that office. All right, I have just a few, I can see these off. Oh my gosh. Just a few reminders for you guys. Just remember, we're now on monthly water billing. The water bills are due on the 15th of the month. Sometimes the 15th falls on a weekend or a holiday, and when it does, we take into account that it is not late. But if it's on a work day, we are implementing late fees. In the water department, things are very report driven. So please be mindful when you are putting your water bills in those nightly drop box. Technically, if you read your bill, we don't read our bill, it says your bill is considered late if we do not have it in our possession at 4:30 on the 15th. So please be mindful, because the late fee is 10% of your bill plus another $5, and so those late fees can be quite hefty. Let's see. It's important that you review your monthly bill. A lot of people have found that if something is going on in their house and they get high reads, the water bill tells you what your water consumption is. You need to be very mindful. If you are typically using 1,000 to 2,000 gallons and it jumps to 20, something's going on. And most likely the biggest offender is your toilet. The toilet can all of a sudden, and when you call and we say the toilet is leaking, water's not on your floor. If that flapper is not secure, if the water level's too high, water is constantly running. If you flush the toilet and you have to do the handle like that, it's a problem. Most times that's just a $10 fix, so you need to alert us immediately. We have staff that will come to your home. They will just do just a test with the toilets where they put dye in it, and if they see dye coming into the bowl part of it, then they will tell you, you need to get this fixed. They do not repair it for you. You have to get that taken care of yourself, but them coming out, it's a free service to the Village of Lynwood residents. Let's see. A couple agencies, when you do get those really high bills, sometimes they can be thousands. And so there are some agencies that are out there that you can seek assistance from. CETA is one of the agencies. They do open up their finance assistant, I believe it's around September. And then because we live in Lynwood, we are part of Bloom Township. They offer services for paying bills. So last year they had an excess of money and they were just looking for people. They paid up to $1,000 to some people who were in need. So just remember, we do have services out there that can assist you. Thank you for your attention. I will now call up our Director for Finance Department, Kimberly Switterick.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Kimberly Switterick, and my senior accountant is Susie Gonzalez. Start off with debt. In 3 years' time, this administration has managed to pay off 2 TAWs, which is tax anticipation warrants, totaling $310,000. We completely paid off the 2012 bond series. We also paid off 2 lighting projects totaling $241,000, a fire truck loan totaling $37,000, and a software project loan totaling $20,000. The only debt outstanding is a 2006 loan that will be paid off in 2027. and an equipment loan that will be paid off in 2026. Also, in those 3 years, we have managed to get caught up with some of our vendors, but we also know we still have a lot of work to do with many of our vendors. The financial challenges of this village cannot be fixed in one term, but we hope the vendors will continue to work with us as we continue to move this village forward. Revenue. Hopefully before the end of the year, our dispensary will open. This will give the village a potential annual income around $400 to $800K. We are also slated to receive 3% of the adjusted gross receipts of the Wind Creek Casino in Homewood, which will open on the 11th of this month. Next is audits. We did finish our fiscal year 2022 audit in July, and we are currently working with our auditors to pin down a date for our fiscal year 2023 audit. Next up is Joyce Hurley, Building Department.
Good evening, everyone. My name is, again, Joyce Hurley. I'm the Building Department Director. We have Brian Thigpen, who is your, he calls himself the Chief Building Inspector. If you could stand up so they know who you are. And we want to introduce to some and reintroduce to others. Our staff addition over the past year has been Bernadette Ganniers. You guys call her Blue, we call her Blue, but you gotta stand up. So that is the first voice you generally hear when you call the building department, and that is Blue. For the time frame of November 2nd, which is the day after last year's meeting to today, we have issued 595 permits with a total of $347,483 in permit fees. Of those fees, 16 of those are new construction homes, and those permit fee costs were $130,664. We've done 1,150 inspections over the last year, and those includes things like rough inspections, which are framing, plumbing, electrical, and so forth. Those also include new build outs, additions, updates, finals, and even some of the complaints that we get. We put them into the system as an inspection, like a complaint inspection. Brian wanted me to also add a couple of things here. We want to remind you guys of the airspace law or your air rights. So for example, if you have a fence and your neighbor has a tree that's growing over your fence, you have the right to trim that tree back to your fence line because that is now entering into your space. Did I say that right, Brian? Okay. We also want to strongly remind you that if you have new neighbors that seem suspicious, please give the building department a call. We do sometimes have problems with squatters, and we're trying to keep our finger on everything that's going on with regard to that. We did have a situation in one neighborhood, and the neighbors called, and we were able to get over and rectify that situation immediately. And that is it for me. I am passing it over to Brittany McPherson from Robinson Engineering.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brittany McPherson. I work with Robinson Engineering. We represent you guys as a village engineer. Take a few moments to give you guys a little bit more information about some of the projects that we work on behalf of the village. I'll recap the $800,000 street resurfacing project that was constructed last summer. It was about 5 blocks that were done that included sidewalk repair and drainage repair, and all of this was done at no cost to the village based on 2 different grants. That's the CDBG grant and Rebuild Illinois. Every year we work together to apply for those CDBG grants so that we can do more projects like this. Next up, I'll talk about the Lynwood Bike and Pedestrian Plan. This is also a grant-funded project. Funding was acquired to be able to assess the needs and desires of the village and create a plan that directly resembles what it is the village wants to see as far as walkability and accessibility. We've had open houses, we've had one-on-one conversations with your mayor and other elected officials to create this plan. So soon we'll be able to release that plan and then use that plan to acquire more funding. Lastly, we have the Glenwood-Dyer Sanitary Sewer Extension on Glenwood-Dyer Road from Burnham to 211th Street. About 1,500 feet of sewer will be installed, allowing for those businesses and residents to be able to be done with that aging, unreliable septic system and tap into sanitary sewer, which makes a big deal public health-wise. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys this evening. If you have any other questions about anything or want to talk about anything further, please don't hesitate to reach out. Trustee, please.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Cheryl Dunlap, and I oversee the Public Works Department. Thank you all for coming.
Hi, everyone. I'm over Planning and Zoning Committee, or I'm the liaison between the Planning and Zoning Committee and the village, and also ordinances and resolutions.
What's your name?
I'm sorry, I thought I introduced myself. I am David Lilly, the only one.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Trustee Kirk Marshall, and I'm over Public Safety, which is our fire and police. And I'm very proud of my two chiefs. They do a wonderful job, and they make my job easy, so I don't have to speak a lot tonight.
Hi, good evening. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Trustee Rolanda Clark. I am over the Health and Wellness Program. As you can see, my bio a little bit is right there. No need to repeat it. So what I do is I try to keep Lynwoodians healthy. As our engineer has said, we're trying to get more bike pedestrian paths. Who here knows that we have one bike pedestrian path? Raise your hand. Yes. Yes. Okay. And you guys know where that is along Lynwood-Dyer Road from Camelot all the way to Stony Island. Well, we want to get more so that we can have more people biking, more people walking, and more people running. That's going to keep us healthy. That's going to keep the diabetes away. We're going to kick diabetes teeth. And when she sends out those surveys, please fill them out. Have your friends and family fill them out. And when you want more bike paths, please call me, or, well, I don't think they have your number, but you can email me, and I'll get that information to her so that we can do more of those types of things. Who here knows about the glowing bike around Lynwood? Yay, more people, thank you. So that is a healthy, fun event for everyone, young and old. We do that once a year. And what I do is I give out glow gear so we can have a healthy time. And it's at night, so you're not burning up in the sun. And it's a nice, easy, fun run. And so that's about what I do. I do other things with advocacy and helping homeless people get housing. I've been able to get about, from last year until around this time, I think I've helped 14 individuals into housing. And that's a big thing, because housing is a big thing for individuals. We have to, some of them we have to fix the mental, but we have those programs. Who here knows about 988? Thank you. 988, it's like 911, thank you. It's like 988 is like 911 for behavioral health. You know someone that's going through some things and need to talk it out. Please have them call before they fall down that rabbit hole. We can probably stop that mental illness before it actually gets there, because a lot of people are stressed out. I'm stressed out because Kamala didn't win. I might be calling it tonight. So I'm just letting you know. But that's basically a lot of what I do. So you have a great day, and I love you, Lynwoodians. Thanks for coming out. Now I'm going to hand it to Ms. Eves, Trustee Eves.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome and thank you for coming. I am Trustee Cynthia Eves. I am the chair of the Finance Committee. With the Finance Committee members, please stand that are present. Trustee Marshall, co-chairs with me. Dr. Stacy and Jenkins is one of our residents. We have two other residents, Israel Brown, as well as Marion Johnson, and Kimberly Swinnick, our finance director, is also on the committee. Our primary goal as a finance committee is to find resources that aid our residents, whether it's state and local, state or federal funds. And while I'm speaking on federal funds, I would like to let you know that FEMA has declared this area, Cook County, for those that sustained any type of damage on the July 13th through the 16th. That window of opportunity to close is going to be November 15th. So if you have not filed a claim, please do so you can get some assistance from them. We also research resources from Bloom Township has resources that they will help you with. Scholarships for your students, as well as internships. They provide funding for jobs. We had students this year that worked within our village with our Public Works Department. And we also research private companies that give out scholarships as well, so we give you information for that. Our Village Education Scholarship, we've provided that. This is our third year doing it. We were able to award 2 students $1,000 scholarships, and usually these are our first time going away college students that are high school graduates. We had 2 apply, we awarded them that money, as well as we were blessed that we had enough funding to award 8 undergrad scholarships. That was our first year being able to do that for our 2024 year. We also had fundraisers, and we had private donors that helped us fund those scholarships. So in all, we were able to give out over $8,000 in scholarships to our students in Lynwood, and we are very proud to say that we were able to do that. Coming 2025, we're going to continue to monitor, we also monitor village fees. I forgot to mention that. So our village ordinances and fees that we have, the committee goes through at the beginning of the year. We look through, we just want to make sure that we are within the same range as our neighboring municipalities. And I'm proud to say that we did find out that we are not overcharging our our residents like some of our neighbors are, villages are, and some services that we have that are free for us, those villages are charging their residents. And so I'm proud to say that even though we are in debt, we are not raising our fees like other people, other villages, and we are still able to, provide the service. So coming in 2025, we are going to continue to monitor the village fees of our neighboring municipalities. We're going to continue to give financial assistance, and that's like, again, from federal and state. The township Bloom has stuff that, different funding that we would get, as well as private companies. Our financial literacy program, we ran that program for 2 years prior. We did not run it in the 2024 year because we were not able, students just did not apply for it. So in the 2025 year, I am proposing that we partnership with Sandbridge and start, instead of at the high school level, but at the middle school level. Maybe if we can catch those babies, they will continue on and enroll in the financial literacy program before they go away to college, so we will be able to teach them something as far as money is concerned. We will also be partnering with Wintrust Bank. They will partner with us to help us with the financial literacy program.
The Village Educational Scholarship, we're going to continue that. So there are some dates I would like for you to save. Our financial literacy program, which we're trying to get started in March for the Sand Ridge School. Our scholarship fundraisers. We have a lottery raffle that is the entire month of April. You buy a lottery ticket, it's good for the entire month of April. You either win $50 or you win $100 on the weekends. That has been very successful. We only sell 1,000 tickets, and believe it or not, those 1,000 tickets go fast, and people still be calling us for more tickets. So please make note of that. We also have our casino trip. And this past year, we did, for the first time, a casino trip, and we did very well with that. We went to Four Winds Casino, and that was very successful for us. In 2025, we're going to have a cigar smoke and sip. We're projecting to have that in September. And we would also like to do the double good popcorn sale in November. Also, we've had various people to donate items, which we raffle off, as well as residents that have made private donations, scholarship donations that we have awarded to our students. So anything that you want to give, any way to help us out, we'll appreciate it. And if you have any type of questions or anything for me, please see me afterwards. So I'll be around to talk to you afterwards. So thank you again for your time. Trustee Randall Blank.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. As was stated, my name is Randall K. Blakey. I serve as a trustee for the Village of Lynwood, and I'm responsible for the economic development as well as community affairs. And I'm going to cover some economic development significant increases first. Whether you know it or not, the Village of Lynwood is quickly becoming an economic engine for the Southland. Over this past year in 2024, has initiated the inclusion of the following new businesses in the Village of Lynwood. Dunkin' Donuts at the corner of Glenwood Dyer Road in Torrance, R&J Landscaping and Concrete. We have a car wash. There have been 2 new social venues. Our first grocery store in the village is coming right there on Torrance Avenue. Housing stock continues to boom, and we've approved the proposal for an equestrian village, which Mayor Curry is going to talk extensively about in her report, as well as we've approved the proposal for a fitness center right there at the corner of 198 and Torrance. A few highlights for 2024. We instituted the first Muslim cemetery in the state of Illinois. This is the first Muslim cemetery in the state of Illinois. We were very proud to work with them. They've been very good partners to the village, and we look forward to all of their growth as the years go by. One thing I want to point out about that Muslim cemetery is they have donated 1,500 plots to anyone who does not have the revenue or the finances to bury their loved ones, and so we're very appreciative of that. The Southland Development Authority, better known as CDA, they came to the Village of Lynwood to announce a program that's going to help grocery stores. Grocery stores have really been under attack, particularly in villages throughout the Southland and throughout Illinois. They came to the Village of Lynwood to initiate and to announce this particular program. Now, grocery stores need 2 things. They need financing and they need knowledge of the community. And what CDA is proposing to do is they're proposing to provide an economic effort that will reset the market for grocery stores. In other words, CDA will own the stores and the land, and then they will give the operators a fee to operate grocery stores throughout the Southland. This is a way for economic development to happen throughout the Southland, particularly in Illinois, and CDA is hosting that, and they've come to the village of Lynwood to announce that. So we were very pleased with that announcement. I don't know how many of you all knew, but the village of Lynwood was looked upon by the Chicago Bears organization. There have been letters that have gone back and forth between Kevin Warren and our mayor. They were looking at the village of Lynwood at one point for their new stadium. We don't believe that the stadium is coming, but we are being still considered for a practice area. And so we haven't been told no, and so we're remaining hopeful until we are told no. Choice Hotel Brands. We have been in conversation with Choice Hotel Brands because when the equestrian village comes, it's going to attract worldwide attention to the village of Lynwood, and so we're going to need a hotel. The mayor and I, as well as Ms. Switterick, spoke with Choice Hotel Brands about coming to the village of Lynwood, and those are ongoing conversations that we will be having after the equestrian village materializes here in the village. Our Lynwood Chamber of Commerce has remained intimately engaged with our businesses by offering several opportunities for sharing best practices, business meets and greets, business awareness seminars, and we're thankful to Doranita Tyler for her work with the Chamber. Our 2025 expectations include the completion of the equestrian village, the construction of a new senior village. We just met with some construction officials who are interested in doing a new senior village in the village of Lynwood. They're going through the process with the state right now. We should know at the end of this year whether or not that's going to come to fruition. If it does, they will be in the ground hopefully in 2025. And then also the final expectation for 2025 is the completion of a fitness center that is coming right there at the corner of 198 and Torrance. And so Lynwood, in terms of economic development, is on the move. I'm going to move on now to community affairs. Our community affairs, our engagement this year has surpassed any other year. We've had movies in the park. We've had the Lynvinia Music Fest, which many of you have come to. Our Lynwood Fest 2024 was the largest Lynwood Fest in the history of the village of Lynwood. This was the 65th year that we hosted the Lynwood Fest. This time it was at the Southland Center in their park area behind the center, and it was tremendous. We also host a Veterans Day events, senior events, October Fest events, and Ted London and Associates did a seminar at the library in association with us for real estate and land trusts, living trusts, and wills. And hopefully they will be coming back again. I don't know if that will be this year, but definitely next year. In terms of education, 2024 represents the first full year that we've had our own school, which is Sandridge School. We annexed Sandridge School into the village of Lynwood. I'm happy to have with us this evening the superintendent of Sandridge School, Dr. Knowles. Let's give her a very big round of applause. And also the president of the school board, Sonia Brown Jenkins. Let's give her a very big round of applause as well. We're very pleased with the work that school board and that school is doing. We want to see to it that school, working with and in collaboration with Dr. Knowles, becomes a blue ribbon school for the village of Lynwood, because education can attract even more housing stock and more families to our village. We also saw the expansion of Safari Life. They did a major expansion, and they even purchased even more property to expand even further, and that's another educational component. Educational improvements are being made at Sunnybrook School as well in terms of curriculum. Property taxes. The Village of Lynwood, in collaboration with Larry Rogers' office, has sponsored 2 tax appeal forums, one in September and the other one is going to happen tomorrow night, and that's going to be at Sandridge School at 6 p.m. Transportation. Sheila Edwards, who works for the village, she initiated a call with consultants, transportation consultants, that Mayor Curry and I participated in, and we talked about the different opportunities that there are in the village for expanding accessibility to the village. And you've heard a few of my colleagues talk about bike trails and the walkability of the village. We've even talked about micro transportation. And so we're looking into those things moving forward. 2025 expectations, we're looking to do much more community engagement with our community members. We are looking for many more volunteers to help us to plan for our youth and senior programming. The volunteering, the participation of residents with the events that we host and that we put on for the village is critical to us expanding our knowledge base in terms of what's going on in the village. And so we would hope that we would get more volunteers to come out, particularly those individuals that live in the village of Lynwood, to come out and support the events, but not only support the events, but volunteer to help us and assist with our programming in terms of those two areas, youth programming as well as senior programming. That's it for me. I'm going to call forward now the best clerk in the whole wide world village of Lynwood. Let's give her a great big round of applause. Clerk Karen Wingfield Bond.
You have to excuse him. Good evening, everyone. My name is Karen Wingfield Bond, and I proudly serve as the village clerk for the village of Lynwood. This evening, I just wanted to share with you some of the administrative services that we offer here in Lynwood at the Village Hall. Of course, we have to get our yearly vehicle sticker. So I know everyone in this room has purchased their yearly vehicle sticker. The sticker is discounted from May 1st to July 31st, and that discount price is $48. After July 31st, it goes to the regular price, which is $96. So make sure, I know, it hurts, I know. Make sure you pick it up before July 31st, and you won't have to worry about the $96 price. The second thing we do is we offer alarm permits, and those are yearly updates. Also, that helps the police and fire if they have to get in contact with someone that, at your home if you're not available. So definitely want to make sure those alarm permits are updated. We have animal registrations, and we also do new and renewed business licenses. So if there's anyone in this room who has a business in Lynwood, first of all, we want to say thank you. And then secondly, we want to say that every year in March, I ask that you submit your business application for the new 2020, for the new year, to say. So the new businesses that are coming to Lynwood, they have to present an entire packet, which includes possibly fingerprinting and or background check. And then the renewed businesses needs the yearly inspections, and we also ask for a letter of good standing. And that's just basically to let us know that you are in good standing with the state. So we want you to be in good standing with the state in order for you to be in good standing with the village. Solicitation licenses. We are just starting to get a lot of people coming around soliciting all of our residents. And we want to make sure those people are licensed as well, and vetted, and background checked, and finger checked. We want to make sure they're legit. There's a lot of scams out here, a lot of scams. So we're trying to do our best to protect you guys. So if they come around to your door and they do not have a Village of Lynwood lanyard, call Crystal, no, I'm just kidding. If they do not have a Village of Lynwood lanyard, please call the police. Please call the police and let them know, because they have not come into my office. They have not been vetted. They have not been fingerprinted, and we will not allow that to happen. Okay, everyone understand that? All right. So also we set up water counts and pay water bills. You can pay your lovely tickets for police and or building code violation tickets. We provide notary services. I provide notary services for those, for everyone. We don't do real estate, but for any seniors that cannot get to the Village Hall, I will provide mobile notary services for them as well. And for those of you who want to take that nice, lovely vacation, we provide passport applications, voter registration. I'm not going to even go into that. And we provide info, info on various resources, as some of the others up here mentioned: CEDA programs, ComEd assistant programs, grass cutting, shoveling, and tax appeal. So again, Randall mentioned the tax appeal forum, which will be held tomorrow at Sanders School. So please come out. Larry Rogers' team will be out there to talk to us about our taxes. And that will be tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. at Sandwich. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the woman of the hour, none other than my mayor, your mayor, my mayor and your mayor, Mayor Jada D. Curry.
If I had known I was the woman of the hour, I would have had a band, background vocals, really would have gave you all the show.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you are the lead singer of the village. Sorry. All right, so I have a few things I want to share with you all. If you've been to our town hall meetings in the past, you will know that they normally last 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and I was really trying to get this part done in 30 minutes and do something special with you. We're a little over, but that's okay because I still have something special for you. So let's talk about more economic development. You heard Kimberly mention earlier about our revenue share with Wind Creek Casino. That is something that I am especially proud of and excited about. As many of you know, the casino, Lynwood was in consideration for the casino. Our residents didn't want it, that was fine. We still got a revenue share, so when they open next week, they will be sending us some money. We are set up on direct deposit. Glad to take that money. Finally, Warsaw Inn has been sold. I know, right? I have met with so many individuals about Warsaw Inn. We were sad to hear Angie decide to close down, but we certainly understood when it's time to retire. She has sold to an amazing young lady. She has an already established business. It's going to be called Poppin' Plates Shared Kitchen. It is a unique facility where chefs and food truck owners can come into the shared kitchen space and prepare their meals and then get it out to their catering events or on their food trucks. One thing that I asked of her and she responded with a yes was that because Lynwood is in a food desert and she has so many relationships with caterers and food trucks, if we could just have some days, maybe 1 day a week or 2 days a week, where she just open up her parking lot to all of her food vendors and allow our residents to come in and dine. So stay tuned. She closes next week on the property. She has some renovations to do and she will be open in 2025. More revenue for the Village of Lynwood. Say it with me. More revenue for the Village of Lynwood. We have been meeting with several developers. I'm sure you have seen the sign on the corner of Lynwood Dyer Road and Torrance. There are roughly 165 acres that are being sold. That is currently farmland. We have two potential developers that have a strong interest in that land. One is interested in bringing a data center to that land. What's really unique about data centers is it brings very little traffic, but it brings a whole lot of money to the village. So I'm really hoping that that data center is the one that wins out, but I don't get to decide who they sell to. The other group is actually a group that wants to build a cricket stadium. I wasn't very familiar with cricket, but from what we understand, there's a lot of revenue that comes along with that. Right now, most professional cricket players are either going to New York, Atlanta, or down in Texas to play. And so they're looking at that acreage to build a stadium, which would bring a whole new demographic to the Village of Lynwood and more revenue. I tell people all the time, nothing happens overnight. I get phone calls, I get emails. When I'm in Target, people stop me and they say, hey, when is BAM opening up? $1 million question. You all know I believe in being transparent without divulging too much information. Just know BAM has all of their permits. They're ready to move forward. The owner had a personal tragedy and we have taken a step back so that he can take the time to heal and get his family together. I spoke to him about a week ago and he advised me that in about 30 days they'll be back out to finish the parking lot and get BAM open. It is completely done on the inside. They're just waiting for, I believe, some more furniture and product. Once that parking lot is done, they'll be open, and believe it or not, The majority of our senior population asks me about BAM. I'm not really sure why, but if a senior asks you about BAM, tell them so. Trustee Blakey mentioned the Equestrian University. That's another, nothing happens overnight. Many of you will remember we did this huge groundbreaking with Family Christian Center, and we were all really excited. They had their funding secured, things were moving forward, and then their engineer died. So they had to stop. And the engineer was a member of their church, so they had to grieve. And then a couple of months after the engineer died, the architect had a massive heart attack. Life happens. Nothing happens overnight. So obviously we wanted to give them time to get their affairs in order. They had to go back out to bid. They have secured their engineer. They've secured their architect. They're working with Brittany, our fire chief, our building department. We have our final renderings in, correct? I have been told within the next 30 days you will see silk fencing going up and the coming soon sign, and the Equestrian University will indeed open next year. So we're very excited about that. Kimberly talked more about our finances. I do want to just give this fire chief a shout out because we have had to be very creative with our finances in the village of Lynwood, and we had to look at a variety of ways to bring in more revenue. And so he touched on this ambulance, but I don't want you all to get sick. I don't want people to get sick. But I really didn't know ambulances brought in this type of revenue. So we're excited that we're able to service our residents, but also bring in some new revenue to the village of Lynwood that is going to help us pay our bills, pay down our debt, grow our fire department, grow other departments, and continue to move Lynwood forward. What else do I want to share? Let's move on to our road repairs. I get this call often as well. I know you want your streets fixed. I want my street fixed. God knows if I could fix every street in Lynwood, I would do it tomorrow, but it costs money. And that's a multi-million-dollar project. So you heard our engineer touch on the fact that we were able to secure some grant money to get some roads done. We continue to work with her to go after more grant money. We were recently told that I think our 201st Street project is going to move forward thanks to some grant money. Just know we are working hard to bring in money so that I can take care of all of Lynwood. I know your streets are rough. I know they're in bad condition. We're going to get them done. Be patient with us. If there's patching that we can do, Dan loves to go out and talk to residents. And I should give him your personal cell phone number. But Dan and Sam and the team will go out, and if there's a patching project that we can do to kind of buy us a little bit of time, we will certainly do that. But just know we're working on more revenue to take care of all of our streets. If you watch our board meetings, you will know at the end of 2023, Lynwood, along with several other municipalities and local colleges, we were hacked. It was a major crisis for us at the time that we figured out. We worked really hard with an outside vendor. He came in. These hackers were asking for a significant amount of money in order to release our data. I am very happy to say that we did not pay that ransom. We did not pay that ransom. We secured our data. We secured your data. We built a new system. Our data is safe, and we are moving right along, and they can have that old whatever they have because we don't need it anyway, and it's encrypted. But it was a huge thing, and I hear residents bring it up sometimes. We did address it in the board meeting, but I wanted to make sure that I talked about it a little bit here at the town hall meeting. We have two other grants that I wanted to remind our residents about. One is Build Up Cook. President Preckwinkle is investing a lot of money in the Southland. She's taken a special interest in the village of Lynwood, and that special interest is leading to dollars for us to be able to do some major things around town. One of them under the Build Up Cook program is that we are getting new pumps at our pump station, and Village Hall is getting a much needed facelift. We have carpet that has been there since the building was built. All of us have really bad allergies. We're tired of wheezing, so we're very excited. We're going to reconfigure the design of Village Hall to make it ADA compliant and make it more user-friendly for our residents. We also have the Cook County Resiliency Grant. That's a multi-million-dollar grant. There were 5 communities that were selected. We were one of 5. You should have seen mailers come to your house or on social media or on our website where we've been engaging our residents and our department heads and our elected officials to complete surveys, to gather more data. There is an event coming up on Thursday, November 21st from 5 until 7 p.m. at the Lynwood Library, where we're considering that our big open house. And that is where we're going to share the sum total of where we are and where we're headed. And then we're going to look for some ways to do some climate mitigation work here under that special funding. In case you didn't early vote, let me share, I'm happy to share, the L building behind Village Hall is open again. So now you can early vote here in town, you can vote. But more importantly, the Public Works team spent weeks in there scrubbing and cleaning and painting and making it look really nice. Dan has a headache because he was sick of me throughout that process. But it is now going to be a multi-purpose building. And so residents will be able to rent the space for family events. We will begin to host many of our village events in this space. If you've never been back there, it's beautiful. It has a beautiful outdoor patio with the lake back there. So we hear people say the annex is so small. Well, now we have a bigger space. It may cost you a little more money to rent it, but you'll love it. And in terms of property improvements, Ambry Estates, I heard you. You wanted that house down on Torrance. The house is gone. So, does anybody live in Ambry Estates here? Not one, of course. Y'all gave me the biggest migraine about that house. The house is gone. Thank you to Dan and his team and the outside vendors, as well as our building department. Joyce, thank you for working with Frank to get that done. We were able to get that done at no cost to the village of Lynwood. You've seen the vacant lots that are around town. Many are in your subdivisions. We have homes that were never built, and the owners are not taking responsibility for that land. So Public Works has been going in. We've charged them with making sure that you don't have to have a beautifully manicured lawn and the lot next to you looks like an overgrown field. If you live near 198th and Torrance, you will know Matanke Plaza, where PK's Pantry is. We have been having a time with them. Drive by there now, it looks better. We have demanded that they do some improvements to that plaza. So the brick has been painted, it has been power washed, there's new signage that's going up, that ugly green awning is gone, it's a beautiful gray. They did some work in their parking lot. One of the things I said to Mr. Matanke, I asked him a question, I said, does your corner store look like this? Does your corner plaza look like this? And why do you think it's acceptable for the village of Lynwood? And he agreed, and so now they are dumping in some work, and that is where our new grocery store is coming. And we're taking our time, and we're going to go around and work with all of our plaza owners to make sure that they spruce up these plazas and contribute to our beautification efforts. I'm very excited about this next item. South Suburban College has historical walls. And every community that feeds into South Suburban College has a historical wall, except for the village of Lynwood. So we've been working with them to share Lynwood's story, and we found old newspaper articles and photos. And so Lynwood's historical wall will be unveiled at South Suburban College on December 12th at 6:30 p.m. Please mark your calendars and come out and join us for this great day. They're excited, we are excited, and we will close out the final community for them. Two last things that I want to share with you all. The first being, tune out the noise. So listen, it's no secret, this is an election cycle. So this is not a political statement, this is the truth. Last year I asked you guys to stop screenshotting me Facebook things and sending it to me. I get it, you guys care. You're letting me know what's being said out there. I appreciate that. Tune out the noise. People are going to talk, They're going to do what they do. They're going to say what they say. They're going to be on social media. They're going to go next door and they're going to say this and do that and all of the above. Just tune it out. Because you have heard tonight about all the work that we are doing here. Lynwood is going to a special place, and we don't have time to get in the mud with anybody. We're too busy being here. I themed 2024 our year of manifestation, and this is why. Literally, things are manifesting for us. We are making a shift. And so I invite all of you all to stay on the journey with us, stay focused, continue to be good neighbors. Call us when you need us. You don't have to go on social media or talk to you. No, call us. Come by and see us. People think they can't come by and see me. You got plenty of neighbors who will walk right up to my door and ring my doorbell. Don't ring my doorbell because Mr. Curry will answer. You don't want that to happen. But we did actually have that happen. But you can schedule a meeting with me, you can shoot me an email, you can give me a phone call, same thing with all these department heads and elected officials. We're happy to chat with you all. If anybody tells you Lynwood is not special, let me leave you with this. We have a very high-ranking government official that quietly moved into Lynwood about a month ago. And I'm not going to disclose this person's name, but when I say high-ranking, high-ranking. And this individual came and told me that they had moved into Lynwood. Even I didn't know. They had water service and everything. And everyone's like, how did you manage to get this person in Lynwood? I didn't do anything. Lynwood is a phenomenal place to live. Who wouldn't want to live here? So just know you have some special, very important people amongst you. They love it here. I love it here. I hope you love it here. I hope you continue to love it here. I love you all. I love servicing the village of Lynwood, as do all of us. And so I wanted to do something different tonight, rather than open up the floor to questions where you come up to a mic. I wanted to sit down and have dinner with you all and talk over dinner. Is that okay? You smell the food? Anybody got time for dinner? Okay, anybody hungry? So what we're going to do is have you guys go ahead and make your plates and then make your way back to the table. And then we all are just going to rotate tables and allow you to ask us questions. We'll ask you some questions. We're going to make sure that we all hit every table and that we get all of your questions answered. Thank you all so much for coming out. I do want to acknowledge the amazing Delora Mims, Executive Assistant Extraordinaire. She really wanted to make sure you felt like you were out. Like, this is a real date, y'all. Y'all got candles and flowers and everything. So she wanted to make this special. This is her first town hall with us. And so now we are going to dismiss from this portion of our program and invite you to the back to make your plates. And then once you make your plate, if you can quickly get to your seats so that we can start rotating around. Thank you all.
Let me offer a word of blessing over the food. If we can have your attention, please. If we could have your attention, please. Gracious and merciful God, we are appreciative of this day as we believe it is the day that you have made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. We lift this food to you now and pray that you would bless it for the nourishment of our bodies and the edification of our minds. We ask these prayers in Jesus' name, and all of God's people said, Amen.